Sorry, Steamboat 21. I called you Mitchell Willie. I think me and you would agree about gay marriage. I mean, for the longest time, I thought anybody could marry anybody because it's a free country. Um, but by minute 6:48, um, I just want to redress some things. Um, Whether it's her beliefs in a religion or pseudoscience or an alien told her or her politics or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Um, did she break the law? She was either devious or sly or smart enough. I don't like to say she was smart enough, but at least devious enough to not issue any marriage certificates. It's not that she just wouldn't validate gay marriage. She just wouldn't validate any marriage license. And the issue of marriage being between one man and one woman in the state of Kentucky, and the Supreme Court saying no, gay marriage is acceptable. There's been many um, uh, uh, formative uh, cases in which the state says something, the Supreme Court says something else. It keeps going back and forth. And in retrospect, we say, no, that state was right, at least morally. Dred Scott would be one of them, where a slave escaped to the north. The government said, you're still part of the United States, you have to give him back. So the Underground Railroad had to be connected to Canada. Now, I don't want anybody to mistake me thinking that believing that slavery is wrong somehow means that I'm against gay marriage. I'm not. Uh, but the Supreme Court isn't the be-all, end-all. Uh, should she have spent time in jail? No, she was elected. They could impeach her, whatever, but was it a jailable offense? I don't believe it was. Um, I think people like this, if you ignore them, they go away. But what she wanted, she got, which was bringing attention to the issue. Uh, if I'm not, if I'm, if I'm not wrong, I believe the Miranda case, with the which resulted in Miranda warning and Miranda rights, as well as Brown v. Board of Education, were two issues that were a lot like this, where the Supreme Court said one thing, state said another, and it bounced back and forth. No, not Brown v. Board of Education. That's not the one I'm thinking about. Uh, Plus, marijuana is a crime, right? And there are marijuana dispensers that and growers that technically could get the death penalty, but under state law, the state just ignores federal law, and they are not arrested, and they can sell medicinal marijuana and have these marijuana shops and greenhouses. And again, in some cases, these people are eligible for the death penalty because they have so much marijuana. Another example would be Illinois, a state which I live in, which the law of the land says, illegal immigrants must be, deported. Illinois said, no, we're not going to do that. Not that we don't have the manpower, not that we don't have the police power. We're going to ignore the supreme law of the land. We're even going to ignore state law. And we're going to have the sanctuary here. But I think the more appropriate one would be the marijuana issue, where people, if we went by federal law, would get life imprisonment or the death penalty. Also, stay away from Facebook. Facebook is just a nightmare. I myself am a Luddite, or at least a neo-Luddite, and avoid Facebook, Instagram, all that, Twitter like the plague. Never been on Twitter or Instagram. You'll live a happier, healthier life if you stay away from that kind of shit. But that's just my 2 cents right there. As for Kim Davis being in violation of the First Amendment, again, she denied all marriage certificates. So she's just not doing her job. She refuses to do her job as an act of civil disobedience. Again, I'm not one of these people who is... I believe in a God, so to speak. It would take me about 10 hours to describe what I mean by God. But the gay issue, I really don't care. And again, I always thought could get married, since this is the United States. Again, this is Yusuf making a friendly video. This is not somebody trying to actively oppose you. But the two things the two articles I believe that you state, I don't know that they hold up as much as you'd want them to. I'll try to find better ones that are more rock solid, so you can dispatch with the fanatics and the proselytizing crazy people easier. I'll do my best to look for them and send them your way. But the Supreme Court, being the sole interpreter of the Constitution, that one, I should probably make a separate video about that, because it really isn't. It really is not the sole interpreter of the Constitution, and that actually does take another video. Thank you for your video, and if you watched this, thank you for watching this. I believe just from the part of the video that I watched, I will be subscribed to your channel. And peace to you.